With a legend suffering from health issues and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. With it reported that Becky Lynch had been pulled from her match on Raw, WRKD Wrestling added that, clarifying Becky Lynch had suffered a minor injury and was not cleared initially early in the day upon arriving at the building. Because of this, Becky vs. Zoe was removed from advertising. However, throughout the day, she was thankfully cleared. Therefore, the match went on. In the ring, Darby Allin would have a match against his skateboard. Here's the clip.
For the gold medal, let's get it. Seriously, one more try. One more time. One more time. One more time.
For an update on future plans involving JD McDonagh on the WWE main roster, Steve Carey of Ringside News wrote, "We can confirm that JD is a very promising talent and everyone in WWE notices it. We were told there are no immediate plans for him, and the company is also not going to debut him without a long-range plan because too many people get lost in the system because of that." Touching on the struggles of creating his own legacy separate from his father's, Cody Rhodes said this on ESPN Radio. "A big secret there is when it comes to second or third generation wrestlers, this trickles down to any athlete where your parent came before you and did something great. The thing you don't always say is, I want to honor them, but also you want to be better than they were. Not in a negative way. You want to take it a step further. For me, winning the Royal Rumble. My dad passed away in 2015. It's so unique that he's not been able to see it, but I feel like he's still here with me. To be able to do some things that he never touched, Dusty did everything. To be able to win the Royal Rumble, to go to WrestleMania and be the main event of the biggest thing in wrestling, I'm blessed and lucky, but I'm still on the hunt." Talking to Metro about the return of Bray Wyatt to WWE, The Undertaker said, "They need to back Bray's character up to the original character, get away from, they've kind of got themselves booked into a situation where it's kind of difficult for him to have matches. I think the original Wyatt family Bray, that's the money. I got to work with Bray at Mania the year after I got concussed in the Brock match. I worked with Bray. I think a lot of him, and I like what he's doing. I think they just have to figure out how to. They need to back it up, I think. His promos and then his ability to work. He's an incredible worker, but he's not getting the opportunity to do it. I hope the best for him. I really do think a lot of him. We'll see what happens there." In a video, fans can be seen singing the theme song of Seth Rollins as they are leaving the arena after Raw. Giving an update on Johnny Gargano in WWE, Sean Ross Sapp reported that Johnny Gargano hasn't been seen on TV for quite a while, leading many to speculate on his status. Fightful was given an answer. On Monday, there was a report noting that Johnny Gargano was still injured and wouldn't be competing at this year's SummerSlam. While we can't confirm his status for SummerSlam or the status of the originally planned DIY angle, we can confirm that Gargano is no longer injured and was factored in to recent creative plans in WWE. Ringside News added that it was also noted that Johnny Gargano was backstage at the recent WWE Raw in Cleveland in his hometown. Gargano was originally scheduled to be on the show, however, creative plans were adjusted and he wasn't used. Gargano had experienced a recurring shoulder injury, but has been fine for quite some time. Touching on the SmackDown segment involving the Bloodline last week, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, they brought that thing up too. Yeah, there was some other stuff too. I mean, it was interesting because there were a couple of notes on that. Number one is, if there was a lot of concern, debate going in, if going 30 minutes with that segment, 35 minutes was overkill. They did it. And now, with the benefit of hindsight, it wasn't because the number, grew and grew and grew. And then after that, the rest of the show didn't do anything special after that. It was just that. And the other thing is that Jey Uso's the one who's getting the next title shot at SummerSlam, which is a major show, but for the long-term story, they had Solo throw around Jey, throw him over the table, destroy him and everything like that. Now, Jey did get revenge at the end of the show with the 10-chair shots, but the point is that this was not just, like usually when you got your championship match at SummerSlam or WrestleMania or whatever, that's the focus, the laser focus on building this match. And this one, they're confident enough that they're hot enough that they don't have to focus everything on Roman and Jey. And Jey is the big part. It is the big one. But they're focusing so much on Solo. Just telling you because I think they won an even bigger peak when they come to Roman and Solo and maybe Jey and Solo. At some point, you could do that stemming from everything. Well, I think the obvious thing is, that Jey's losing to Roman. And so Jey and Solo can have a big feud afterward, and Jey can get a big win over Solo with something that Roman does to cost Solo the match, which builds up the split between Solo and Roman, right? And then you've got the direction there and leading into whatever you're doing for WrestleMania. So, it's a very simple, basic booking. There's no, swerves being thrown in. They don't make any sense. You don't know exactly where it's going, but you kind of have an idea where it's going, and it is going in that direction. But here's the thing. Everything that they've done, from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to the Usos, from the start, if you've watched it, it's all coming. This has not been one of those things where, it's not like it's coming out of nowhere. When it comes to how CM Punk is being received in the locker room following his return to AEW, it was reported that CM Punk is showing good leadership backstage so far at Collision and seems to be taking seriously his role as a locker room leader, according to PW Torch sources. Punk has incentive to repair his damaged reputation as a malcontent without a filter or the necessary social skills to get along with others in powerful positions, both to secure cheers from savvy, well-read fans and also to show up his locker room rivals who are the veteran leaders of Dynamite. The word from backstage at Collision is that he is taking seriously that this is his show, and he's taking pride in putting his stamp on the on-air product and off-air vibe in the locker room. Our sources don't necessarily reflect the views of everyone in the back, and some may have different experiences that are less positive, but overall, the vibe appears to be moving in the right direction after some tension in his first week back related to his early dig at the Young Bucks. There has been no such insider digs in his promos since his first week back, alluding to the issues he had with the Elite and others in the past. Tony Khan has assembled the Collision roster strategically to remove people who had conflicts with Punk from being around him on Saturday nights, and that appears to be paying off. explaining why Big Cass, now going by Big Bill in AEW, was fired from WWE, Ringside News wrote, according to reports from Wrestling News, a source revealed that a confrontation involving his ex-girlfriend Carmella played a role in Big Cass's termination. According to the report, Big Cass had been attempting to reconcile with Carmella and became disruptive in the process. As tensions escalated, Cass even grabbed Carmella's hand as she was walking away, leading to a volatile situation. Other wrestlers, including the Usos and Eric Rowan, intervened to restrain Big Cass and prevent the situation from escalating further. Word of the incident eventually reached the higher-ups, and WWE Chairman Vince McMahon personally informed Cass that he had been released from the company. Neither Big Cass nor Carmella has publicly addressed the incident thus far. As Jerry the King Lawler has been going through health issues, suffering a stroke last year, this was said about his set appearance for Team Art Promotions in Charlotte, North Carolina. Unfortunately, this update is not good news. After waiting and holding out hope, I was informed today that due to continued health issues, Jerry the King Lawler has to cancel. Jerry was someone we really wanted to be at the event. We had tried last year, but he was already booked to be somewhere else in 2022. I had made it a point to get Jerry booked very early this year, and it was before he got sick. We are very sorry for those that wanted to meet the King. We know he was a major want for a lot of people. We have to understand that Jerry's health comes first, and unfortunately he has to pull out and is just unable to travel and do these types of things right now. All of us wish the King a speedy recovery and that eventually he will make his return to what he loves doing. Anyone that ordered autograph or photo op tickets for the King, you can get a full refund or use it for other items you may want. I'll be reaching out to you all over the next few days. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.